you. Good evening, everyone. This is the Board of Trustees regular meeting, 2020-21. It's November 10th, 2020. It is 7:33 p.m. We're in the Village Hall Auditorium. Could you please take the roll, Jane?
President Barry?
Here.
Trustee Desmond would like to participate by phone. And Trustee Phelan would like to participate by phone. Trustee Vorder?
Here.
Trustee Mallow?
Here.
Trustee Stalker?
Here.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Before we proceed, I'd like a motion, please, to allow Trustee Phelan and Trustee Desmond to participate
Motion.
by phone. We have a motion from Trustee Oliniechek, second by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion here? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Would everyone rise for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you, everyone. Item 3 is public comments. We have quite a few, and due to space requirements with COVID, I'm going to call the individual speakers to the podium. Each speaker needs to say if they're an Oak Lawn resident. They don't need to give their address. We just need to know if you live in Oak Lawn or not. And then you have 3 minutes. Our village clerk will time you. And just in the spirit of expediency, we do have a full page of people requesting to speak. Keep your comments succinct, and, that's all I ask. So we're going to start with Maureen Ehrlicher. Maureen, hi, we have a podium here. If you could come to the, yep, there you go. And welcome. Do you live in Oak Lawn, please?
I do. I
Thank
have
you.
all my life.
Wonderful, thank you. Welcome, and you have 3 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm very nervous. I'm
Don't be
here
nervous,
to
but
speak-
just speak into the microphone. A lot of people will be watching this at home as
I know,
well.
That's why I'm nervous.
Don't worry about them.
I'm like, I could do this for the board of, zoning board, but now I'm very nervous. Okay.
Don't be nervous, please relax. We're all neighbors.
I had something prepared, but it's way more than 3 minutes. I'm against the parking lot right behind my.
Okay, can you talk into the microphone? Tom, are you able to hear that? Okay,
I am against the parking lot.
okay,
that
thank
is
you.
trying to be put in behind my house. I look at his place of employment now with the congestion of traffic, the increased traffic. To my right is Crown Mortgage, and then he wants to put a parking lot behind me. That'll devalue my house. I put 26 years of my life in that house. At one point, a doctor wanted to buy it from me and make it a parking lot, and the zoning board wouldn't allow it. So here I am 20 years later. I put an addition on, new roofing. I've completely redone the house inside and out, the backyard, a deck, front yard. And there'll be no value left in my home if I have another parking lot behind me. Not to mention it's taking away from the neighborhood. And what are the zoning laws for if it's not to protect the neighbors? You're ruining the neighborhood. And I don't think it's even right. You already came in 2 lots with the parking lot for Crown Mortgage.
Yeah, just a moment, please. Our call-in folks are having trouble hearing you, I'm being told. So,
Sorry.
does that microphone lift off, Tom? Okay, can you lift it and she could hold it in her hand maybe? Does it come out of the holder?
Well, I can try and do better here. Is that better? Okay. There's also a history of changing. Back in 2015, we've been to every single meeting pertaining to these issues. In 2015, he said he wouldn't come into the neighborhood. He wouldn't need the neighborhood for parking. He said he wouldn't put a flashy sign up. He's gone back in every word he's made. He said he'd put a sign on his desk stating not to park in the streets. He didn't do that. Until recently, it was a very bad issue. But very recently, it got better, and I think that's because he's trying to get this expansion and then trying to get this parking. Why couldn't he be neighborly for the 5 years before that? Why couldn't he have worked with us? He used to ask the cars to move, and then it got to the point where he said he couldn't police the lot. So then we had to start calling the police and bothering the police with these issues. I had one day when I woke up in the morning and I had an appointment, there was a car blocking my driveway. I couldn't even get out of my driveway. And now I know this parking is what it's all about, but 18 spots is not going to alleviate the problem. I count a minimum of 25 cars on the street and in the building next door to me that they're leasing, a minimum of 25 cars a day. How is 18 spots going to help that? And it would still be like a spot zone, because you can't come more than 100 feet in off of what's already parking, because you've already come in 2 lots. So that's half the amount of parking he's going to be able to have. He also didn't offer me any screening. He didn't offer me a wall. He wants to use my alley. Nobody uses the alley. Nobody on the entire block uses the alley. We like it that way. It's grass. We like it that way. He wants to put in cement just behind my house, behind my fence, and behind my garage. So now he's going to be right up against my property.
Okay, thank you.
It's
That's
just
the 3
terrible.
minutes. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
We have next on the sign-in sheet, Jason Erlacher. Hi, Jason.
How you doing?
And please let us know if you live in Oak Lawn, and then you
I
have
do.
3 minutes.
Um,
And speak loudly so folks participating by phone or watching at home can.
Yes, I do live in Oak Lawn. That was my wife. She covered pretty much everything on there. I'd like to reiterate that I don't understand how we are going to look at putting a parking lot in a residential area when there's commercial property kitty corner from it that's been empty for 25 years. I know there's a cost involved, but you can't expect the residents to eat the cost of their homes when there's commercial property that's not being used. It doesn't make any sense to me. And, you know, he's in an ideal spot. He's on 95th Street. It's a beautiful spot. He's going to get a lot of business. He's grown. I have no objections to his growth. I just don't want his stuff to come into the residential area. This area he's talking about, on Moody, there's a lot of kids that live on Moody. And you know that nobody's going to pull out of that parking lot to go to 95th Street to go back home. They're going to avoid 95th Street. I see it every day from the people who work at his company. And like my wife said, if he was going to be neighborly, for the last 5 years, there's still, up until last week, we're still parking in the residential areas. I don't, you know, we don't need any more of that. And to devalue my home doesn't make any sense. You will knowingly devalue my home. Minimum $30,000. I don't know if all of you can take a $30,000 hit, but I can't. And I know he's making money, so he can go ahead and buy out Crown Mortgage, buy out somebody else, move somewhere else, I don't know, but don't come into the residential area. My wife said, we were going to sell the house years ago. They didn't, and because our family was growing. The only reason we stayed is because another doctor wanted to make our home a parking lot. And when they said that, I said, you know what? Instead of leaving here, I know Oak Lawn is taking care of the residents, so we'll stay here and build up. And we did. We put a second story on, put in new driveway, put a deck on the back. I mean, we built into this home, and we were the ones that allowed him to come in after Walgreens had left there. We all feel kind of stupid about it for the last 5 years. I'm telling you, it's been a big hassle. And I mean, I don't want to call every day for the police to come there. They have other things to do than to come and see that I can't park in front of my house, or my kids can't, or the snow removal is going to be a problem because they're parked out there. He needs to find another solution. I don't know what it is, but that's just my opinion. So that's all I
Okay.
can actually say.
Okay, thank you very much. And next we have Angela Erlacher. Hi, Angela. If you could please let us know if you live in Oak Lawn, and then you have 3 minutes, and please speak loudly into the microphone.
Hello, I do live in Oak Lawn. and I'm actually the daughter of Jason and Maureen Erlicher. There's definitely been this whole issue, but also when they put up the flashing sign, that actually created a problem in my house because it was flashing right into my eyes. So it made it harder to sleep at night. I had to put lines on there just so I could sleep at night. What's going to happen when there's a parking lot and he's going to need to put lights there too? Or maybe he wants to try and put another sign there. I'm not sure. The other thing is that with Crown Mortgage, their snow routes sometimes go behind our garage. They'll put the snow up to there. Where's it gonna go if there's a parking lot there? Where's the snow gonna go? Behind there as well? There's going to be some issues. It's going to melt, and it's going to be some issues around our house with that, especially with the garage being right there. And if they need to go out that way or go a certain way out to the alleyway, that could hit the garage too. It's a little bit in the back. But it's just, I don't want to cause issues. I don't want to be mean about this, but it's affecting our home, and I want some privacy. Don't get any in the front. It's extremely frustrating that when the fact they put windows in the front and they can look in my house. I can't go in the front room without the possibility of them looking at mine for the customers. And now you want me to possibly see it in the back? That's not right, and it's not fair. And there's also the fact that if he has that area and he has to go to the parking lot in Crown Mortgage and there's something that happens to that customer, Crown Mortgage is going to be held responsible because it was in his area that happened. Then he's the one that's going to get in trouble. That's all I really have to say.
Thank you very much, Angela.
Thank you.
Next is Natasha Ehrlicher. And Natasha, you may have heard my comments. Welcome. You have 3 minutes. Please let us know if you live in Oak Lawn, and thank you.
Hello. Yes, I'm Natasha Ehrlicher, and I do live in Oak Lawn. In regards to the zoning appeal, it's been touched on already a little, but it will cause us to lose all the privacy we still have left. When we walk out the door, we can look into the business. They have these gigantic windows, and I don't even know why they decided to put them in there. It didn't seem to serve any purpose. And we know that they have seen us outside. We know that they've seen us because they actually commented on it before. They have told us. My mom she had to go to a different job for a period of time, so she wasn't outside the way she used to. And one of the people there actually commented that she hasn't been outside lately. That's weird, that's creepy. And the backyard's all we really got left of that. And once that parking lot goes in, that's gonna be taken away. And during the summer, people do use that backyard. I see people play baseball and stuff. So it does have that neighborhood type of feel to it. People do come together in that kind of place. And that's gonna be lost so that he can have some parking spots. And I just think that's a shame because I don't see people all that often in the neighborhood. I see people outside, but I don't see people come together like that because we don't have a lot of things around our neighborhood like that. And it's one of the things that can do that. And that's all I got.
Okay.
Much to say.
Okay, thank you very much, Natasha. Next is Bill Talon. And Bill, you have 3 minutes. If you could come to the podium right there, and please speak loudly and clearly in the microphone.
All right. Good evening.
Let
My name
us
is
know if you
Bill
live in Oak Lawn.
Tellin. I'm an Oak Lawn resident. I live at 96th and Moody, so this situation affects me deeply.
And speak very loudly into the microphone, please.
Okay. My family has been in Oak Lawn since the 1930s. The Talons owned 7 properties in Oak Lawn. I was a contractor that built gas stations around the country at airports. I built several homes, many additions in Oak Lawn. I always kept my business license here in Oak Lawn. I played by all the rules. I worked with all inspectors. And right now, I feel as though I'm not really getting my voice heard as far as this particular situation. We're going to have a third parking lot on our street, a residential area. There's already Hawkins and Ford. Then we have second, and now we're going to have a third. I just object to that, and I hope everybody would think twice about the residents on that block in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Talon. Next, we have Josh Ehrlicher. Hi, Josh. Please let us know if you live in Oak Lawn, and then you have 3 minutes.
Yes, I do live in Oak Lawn. I'm actually the son of Mo and Jason Ehrlicher. And the major issue I'm facing with this parking lot is my room is actually facing the backyard. Now, I already have a lot of light coming in from Crown Mortgage and the Ford dealership. The Ford dealership does have a section of that parking lot. And him putting a parking lot in here is going to put a lot more light into my room. And unfortunately, I do not want to invest in blackout curtains. I don't feel like I should have to put my money to a man that already has enough and has enough money to demo the building that has spots from. Now, obviously, there's the big question of privacy here. And I don't have a lot to look out to when I'm looking out my window. But even if I have my window open, I get home at 5:30. If his employees are leaving at 5:30, I understand if I'm not by my window. But if I happen to walk by, I don't want them to see me. I don't want them to see me what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if it's a more private issue or nothing big. They already look into our front window, into our front lawn, and the same situation. That is the one green area we have near my house that a lot of people can go to play things like baseball or even have their dog run around. And a lot of the residents in the area thought it'd be a good idea to put a dog park there or just another house. We need neighbors and we don't need more businesses that are going to bring people that don't contribute to this community. And that is all I have to say.
Okay, thank you very much, Josh. Next is Darlene Bartlett. Hi, Darlene. Please let us know if you live in Oak Lawn, and then you have 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm here to talk about the property 9512 South Moody becoming a parking lot from a single-family residence. I just want to touch on the Department of Community Development Growth Management staff report. In here is talking about the compatibility with the village's 1997 comprehensive plan, because off-street parking should be made available in commercial areas in a manner which does not negatively impact adjoining residential uses. However, in this case, it does, because the ingress and the egress of use of the public alley with no buffer zone is a possible danger not only to their backyard of the neighbors behind, but also to their garage, their fence, with no buffer zone. Rezoning from R1 to park does not follow the comprehensive plan that you guys have laid out. The property only aligns with one parking on one side on the north. On the east, the west, and the south is all residential. So it's not like there's other parking completely surrounding 3 sides. This will increase traffic in our neighborhood. It also decrease our value of our neighborhood. This is the only parking lot that is going to be the furthest in besides that medical building. Nothing goes past that medical building. You could look on the thing. Everything goes from the medical building forward parking lots. Everything below it is residential. Also with the compatibility with the zoning ordinance, I understand he must own the property for it to be zoned at C2. Not sure if I'm reading it right, but 461B, it says that the R1 property proposed for rezoning extends no deeper than 2 residential lots and not to exceed a total of 100 feet from the lot line of a commercial use or from an alley from commercial use. But this would be more than 100 feet from the alleyway, because the property alone is, I believe, 125 square feet, or 125 feet. So I don't understand, and it's already 2 parcels in, so I'm not understanding how it could be built another 2 parcel. Because then you could build again another 2 parcels, and then, does it end at 96th Street? I mean, where does that end? Also, I just want to touch on, he claims he has parking's been a concern, but the parking's only been a concern because his employees are parking, not only in the 2-hour, but they're parking in front of our driveways, in front of our mailboxes, all along the street. In the 2-hour, they park all day long, but yet the parking lot's empty. So why aren't they parking in the parking lot? Well, I questioned a couple of his employees when they were parked out there, and they said because they're not allowed to. So where are they going to park? I don't blame them for parking in the street then, because they have nowhere else to park. There is parking across 95th Street on 94th, all along the west side of the street, that is public parking.
Okay, that was the 3 minutes. I'll
Okay.
give you one more sentence to wrap
Okay,
up.
I just wanted to touch on, in 2015, he had 15 employees, and now in 2020, he has 31. Parking's only went up a little bit,
Okay,
and now
thank
I'm curious of what's
much.
going to happen in 2025. Is he going to need more parking spots, more parking lots?
Thank you very much. Ella Burbank is next. Hi, Ella. Let us know, please, if you live in Oak Lawn, and then you have 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm a current resident of Oak Lawn. I'm directly across the street from this lot. Been there 44 years. And what I want to question is we just went through this determination on September 21st with the board, and it was voted down. And my thing is this. It is too far into residential. There's a reason why they made the zoning to begin with. I'm all for expansion and growth of this community, but at what cost to its residents? Not only that, but, you know, I'm a Cook County worker. I worked downtown at Stroger's for 10 years, and I walked 6 blocks from the hospital, winter, summer, spring, and fall, like I stated in the board meeting. So I don't know why people can't just walk across the street. So what I'm stating is I oppose this only because there's already an increase in traffic. If he's worried about the mortgage he's paying on the 80 grand, I'm sure it's less than his electric bill, about $300 a month. So I've been here, not once did this man ever come to the residents and say, what do you think? So my question on transparency is, what connection does he have? Because you know what? He seems to know enough about the law that when he got turned down on the 21st, we're now sitting in front of the board of the trustee. Where's the transparency? Where's the connection? He seems to know the loopholes of government, because here we are again. So there's a reason for the zoning law. I'm all for expansion of growth, but at what state for its residents? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, thank you very much, Ella. Jim Smith is next. And Jim, you'll have 3 minutes, and please let us know if you live in Oak Lawn, and speak loudly and clearly, please.
I've been at Oak Lawn since 1952. I've always loved Oak Lawn. I'm down the street from where the supposed parking lot is going to go, and I've said, if you counted off 9,500, 408, 12, it's like 6 or 7 houses in on a typical block. I feel that it's way too much. I have 3 little kids, grandkids of mine, directly across the street. I got one next door, the neighbors, 2 across from there. There's 8 or 9 minimum of little kids. And they run around, you tell them, don't cross the street unless your mother or father, an adult is there. We know how that goes. They never listen, you know. I don't like all the traffic. You got the Hawk Ford with their truck lot, people dropping off cars, picking up cars, and I just, I'm totally against it. I was against it when we came here before, and I don't see why we're doing this all over again. I don't see what's changed, other than we're not on daylight savings time anymore.
Okay.
Like I say, I keep hoping that someday they'll build a house there, someday the economy will pick up. I'd rather have a house as a neighbor than a parking lot. And that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay.
I can't think of anything extra to add to that I haven't said before. I'm just totally against it.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Next is Aaron, and I can't read the last name, Coroy, maybe? Can you spell your last name, sir, for the minutes?
C-O-R-E-Y.
C-O-R-U-Y, okay. Oh, just Corey, C-O-R-E-Y, got it. Okay, Aaron, you have 3 minutes. Please speak loudly and clearly, and let us know if you live in Oak Lawn.
I do live in Oak Lawn. My fiance and I have lived in the house that will be next to the lot for about 7 years now. We have signed a petition. You know, I know when we signed it, there were probably about 60 names on it. We have concerns about the traffic. We have concerns about the lighting in the parking lot. We have concerns about the upkeep of the area. I know that when the gentleman that owned the property prior to this, he was very meticulous about keeping the lawn clean, and everything was really nice. And we had a pretty good relationship with him. When he moved out, the lawn just grew up and out and over. It was not well kept at all. So in that sense, I have concerns about how any fence that I would have would be kept. The lot itself, I know that we're one lot removed already. I know that we have concerns about the commercial properties that are already getting fairly close to the residential. It would be nice to have an actual neighbor. It would be nice to have a park. A parking lot isn't ideal. You know, like I said, we've only been there 7 years. I love the neighbors. Everybody's really nice. I love living in Oak Lawn. I work in the city. You know, just generally, you know, who wants to live next to a parking lot? When it's all said and done, there's already one there. There's plenty of street parking. There's plenty of commercial properties. It would be sad to see that happen. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. And this is going to conclude the public comments. From there, conflict of interest disclosure. Does anyone have a conflict to disclose with any item on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, I do want to recuse myself from any vote that might be on item 9 or 10 because of my business's proximity to that property.
Mayor, I'd like to take this opportunity to move up number 9 and 10 or number 5 before we vote on.
Okay, we have a motion to advance item 9 and 10. Trustee Olin, motion made by trustee Mallow, seconded by trustee Desmond to advance item 9. And I think we need to do them separately. So let's call the vote on advancing number 9, please.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Border?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Motion
Thank
carries.
you. And at the same time, I'm going to ask for a vote to advance item 10 per trustee Mallow's request. Trustee Mallow made that motion, seconded by trustee Oliniechek. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Border?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Thank you. So we're going to take on item 9, appeal of adverse decision by Zoning and Planning Commission, petition 2020-13 for rezoning from R1 to PK with wall height, wall material, and transitional landscape yard variations at 9512 South Moody Avenue. This was a 5-0 motion to, or vote to deny, excuse me. The petitioner is Akram Abidal in District 3. May I have a motion on 9, please?
Motion to deny.
Second.
We have a motion to deny by trustee Mallow, seconded by trustee Oliniechek. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, I'd just like to say,
No. Just, it's a business meeting. I will give you an opportunity to speak, but the trustees, it's a business meeting for the board, so
thank you.
you're welcome.
It's always difficult to balance the goals of bringing businesses in Oak Lawn and maintaining good quality of life for our residents. In this situation here, I appreciate the residents coming out and also doing that during the planning and zoning meeting. I understand living near major streets is always difficult. We're always trying to be flexible with our business owners. The quality of life of our residents always has to take precedence over that. So that's why my motion is to deny that.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion by trustee Mallow to deny. Do we have a second?
I already seconded.
Trustee, I'm sorry, who was the second?
I already seconded.
Okay, trustee Oliniechek was our second, thank you. He beat trustee Warder a little bit. Now I'm gonna open it for discussion. I'm gonna let the trustees speak first, and then we'll open it to the petitioner before the vote. Anyone have anything to say? Trustee Warder?
Yeah, Mayor, I just want a point of clarification for our residents. There is a process in the village on a zoning change. They first go to an advisory board that reviews and makes recommendations to the Board of Trustees. Anybody can appeal that decision. The ultimate authority on these is the Board of Trustees. So I just wanted to make it clear on why you're here again. The man has a right to appeal that decision to the Board of Trustees.
Yes.
Yes.
Council, is that the end of the appeal process? Yes. Okay, so do any trustees have any additional comments?
Mayor, I think that the residents have made a great point on the concerns that they have there. And trustee Mallow said it's difficult balancing a business and the residential, but in all fairness, as the business started out in 2015, this problem started back when you first started the business up. If you read through the notes, and I'd like to thank the resident who put this packet together, you're a product of a good business that is growing and growing leaps and bounds. But the problem is you didn't forecast that back when you first started, and you didn't state that you were going to need any parking. You yourself are on testimony saying that you would have ample parking to be able to run your business and that you had a plan for it. I think what the residents have brought up and community parking across the street, that's public parking that would be free for you and your employees, I think it's common sense. But I appreciate that the process went through, and I greatly appreciate what the residents had to say about their neighborhood.
Okay, thank you. Any other trustees have anything to weigh in? Anyone on the phone? Okay, I'm going to invite the petitioner, who is Mr. Akram Abadal, excuse me. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, sir. Just make brief comments, please.
Just brief comments?
Certainly.
So there's a lot of points that I'd like to discuss if I can. So good evening, Mayor and trustees. So there's a lot of points that were brought up that really we didn't have a chance to answer if I'd like.
Okay, that should have been vetted in the prior committee, and then in public comments you could have spoken, but I understand you're not clear on the process, so I certainly want to give you time.
Okay. So what I'd like to bring to the attention of the trustees, if I may. So we actually, early on, when we first moved in, we were anticipating growth, and we wanted to make sure that we had ample parking from the beginning, because we anticipated, it's been 5 years since we bought the property. So we had a contract in place to purchase the parking lot that currently is Bona Beef. The Village of Oak Lawn came to us and asked us if we would relinquish that contract so that Bona Beef can purchase that property, so that way they can get the dollars from taxes from that. So contrary to our business and to the future projection of what we thought, hoping we're going to grow, we wanted to be able to manage that. So I went to the doctor and said, Doc, as a relationship to the Village of Oak Lawn, I think we should let them have that, and we'll look for another option. The other option was we had parking so the doctor is a surgeon at the CRS, which is right east of us, the surgery center. The doctor there allowed us to park into his lot, which is east of our building. And we've been parking there up until this last June. And Dr. Mayor Burry purchased that property, so now it's her property, and as of June, we're no longer in that lot. So we went to the village to look for options, and I've spoken to multiple people from the village asking for options, and this lot at 9512 was what we were looking at, and we asked if, if this will work. It's the closest to where we're at. It's a lot that's been empty for 10 years. So they said there has not been a lot down 95th, and I've got multiple pictures, and I have over 20 properties that were lots or homes that were purchased that were rezoned to parking. And they said, the other thing they said, there's no reason that you would be denied because it's never happened before. So there has not been a lot, and I've got over 21 different lots that's ever been denied. So we purchased the lot based on that. The other thing is we've taken into consideration, so Mr. Erlocker, it's about 6 family members spoke this time, 6 spoke last time, and they got to say everything they said, and then it was voted on and we left. So there has not been a time, Mr. Erlocker had my cell phone number, so anytime there was ever issue, he calls me, I always made sure we resolved it. We stopped speaking once the police came over from an incident where he did some stuff with a patient, and the police were called, and they restricted him from the property. After that, we had no more communication. But I asked every issue they had. For example, if they're saying windows were an issue, we actually put shades in place, and we keep the shades down because we were looking for a solution for that. If there was a problem, the problem for parking for him is really the 2 spots in front of his house. If anybody ever parked there, from the day we moved in till about the time they put signs in, and they put signs in only after he was restricted from the property after fighting and banging on a window. I always managed it for him. So I said, listen, it's going to be easier for the both of us if there's signage up. Once the signage went up, I asked the neighbors. They said, you know what, it's been pretty good. And it wasn't until we got this lot and that we're actually petitioning to rezone that all the stuff from the past started coming back up. So windows, we put shades up, signage, he put that up. Any concern they had, we always took that into account. Our whole thing about having a lot, and we want that lot to be focused for the staff, so that way staff come in the morning, they leave in the evening, it's done. We actually put the plans together based on speaking to the neighbor who is right beside it, Aaron Corey. So Aaron Corey, I spoke to him in person, and he said, would I prefer to have a fence? So we took that into account. So everything that the village asked in requirements, we've got the plans for them. We intend to follow the requirements 100%. We took the suggestion of the fence only because Aaron and his fiance thought it'd be more appealing aesthetically. So we didn't have a problem. We took that into account. The last time when we mentioned that, actually, September 21st, a lot of the neighbors had a concern with that. We only took that upon as a suggestion to the village. Whatever the requirements they have, we will follow it along. We only were going to do that because we wanted to take into account what he had. He also had the concern of lighting. We had the engineers, and if you need them on the phone, we can get them. We had the engineers do the lighting that it's away from the house and it comes off. We can put them on timers and we can shut them off, but at nighttime, we're out of there at 5:30. So as it gets dark, it wouldn't be facing their house. Mr. Erlocker had mentioned to Kevin McGinnis with the village that he'd prefer some more landscaping. So because he said that to Kevin, we took that upon ourselves and made sure we put that in the plans to add it. So we were looking to accommodate. I think what happened, and I heard the meeting after our last time that we met here, not the last one, the one before that, the meeting didn't complete, and there was a meeting out here that let's get all the neighbors out here. So Mr. Erlocker and his 6 family members, and they did a petition, and I've got pictures, they've got signage all over the backyard. I have pictures of the back of it. Kevin McGinnis with the village came out with us before we purchased it to take a look at it, and he showed us the alley that they're talking about is all grass right now. It's because it's been empty for many years. And the village actually owns that whole alley. So we were only going to do what the village requested of us, is we're only going to pave what they need to so we can do parking. And it's consistent with all along 95th. I have multiple pictures I can show you. Our whole intention is this. From the beginning, we've always looked for whatever we've accommodated. The village asked us to step. Had we bought that property at Bono Beach, we wouldn't be speaking today because we would have had what we needed. We wouldn't have a problem later on. Then we had parking, and the mayor actually bought that parking lot, gave us a day to vacate it, and then we're on the street now. So we're looking for a solution. We've been in Oak Lawn for over 18 years. Dr. El-Kadari is the main pediatric ophthalmologist at Christ Hospital. We've been here for 18 years. We've been at this property for 14, but we are at 4700 West 95th Street for the other 14 years. The hospital, even in COVID right now, everything, emergencies get sent to us. So we have to restrict that, but he's the only pediatric ophthalmologist that's available. So the work that we do is very important. We cannot, if you deny this, we have no other option. We are in Oak Lawn. So if we can get the concentration to that lot, we want things to work. So when they're saying there's big windows, that's a big deal to us. We spent a lot of money to cover those windows. I make sure that their shades are halfway. Nobody wants to watch anybody in their house. That was never the intention. So any concern, we really want to resolve it for the residents. Well, we're here for the long haul. We really want to, we're in the community. We cannot do it without you trustees, without the community. So whatever needs to happen for us to be able to run our business, do the service to the community, and resolve this forward, we really need that. It's just, if you say no, we don't know what other option, because the first option we had, we handed it over to the village. And I said, Doc, don't worry about this. You know what? They'll figure it out for us. We're a business in the community. We've been here for a while. So they're going to figure it out with us. Then we had a lot, and then it's bought, and we're kicked out in June. We have one day. I don't know what is. So then we bought this. We're in COVID times. It's really tough, even though we're taking on a lot of stuff because we have to with the hospital. But I don't know what the next option is. This is the closest lot. It's been 10 years empty. When Mr. Corey had mentioned in terms of it not being, we actually hired a landscaping company locally. So when he said it wasn't cut, I made sure I went back and I said, hey, you guys missed it? They overlooked it. Now they're cutting it. And I'm actually taking a look at it. I drive over there. It's a block away. I drive over to make sure it's taken care of. We are in the community. We want to make sure, for me, it's really important that we take care of whoever. If we're in communication, if they tell me something, I've taken it into account. It actually, to draw it up in here, to get the ideas, to actually get the stuff on the lighting, cost money. To add extra landscaping costs money. But because they said it's a concern to them, I didn't second guess it. I said, Doc, we have to do it. We're in the community. We're at service to them. If they bring something up, we just relined that whole lot. Mr. Erlacher, the last time, took a picture of a bush, an old tree that's in our lot. I pulled that out after he said that. I didn't notice, it's like, that's not the focus we had. But when they said that, I got it out there. So it's like every single thing they say, I go out of my way to make sure we actually get taken care of. Something's overlooked and something.
Any trustees have questions for the petitioner?
I don't, but I do appreciate that you're looking for options.
Okay.
I don't think this is the option for you. I really don't.
Why is that?
And if this would have been the option, these people would not be here. Because they're here to tell you no, that they don't want this to be a parking lot.
Thank you. And any other trustees want to weigh in? I just want the record to show, you've referenced my office and my business, and I've made attempts to be neighborly. I've offered parking spots in that lot. And when you say we don't know other options, as recently as October 20th, I reached out again saying I want to be neighborly. There's an option for parking, and you did not respond. So I don't know.
Can I respond to that?
No, I don't want to have
That's not fair.
a little
That's not fair.
back
because
and
he
forth. So we're
responded
going to call the
3.5
vote,
months
please.
Afterwards. He responded 3.5 months after she said.
We're going to call the vote, please. Let's call
The
the
doc
vote.
is here. Can you speak?
Call the vote, please.
Trustee Desmond? Trustee
Yes,
Phelan? Trustee Vorder?
No.
Trustee Mallow?
No.
Trustee Stalker?
No.
Trustee Onichek?
No.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Trustee Phelan.
denied,
Oh,
so,
trustee Phelan.
yes?
Yeah, excuse me. I think that there was some confusion there. I'm voting yes to deny the appeal. Wasn't that the motion?
Yes.
Okay, so
The motion's to deny, so
we are calling on the motion to deny. A yes vote, we're going to recall that vote. Yes means it's denied. No means it is not denied. So, council, is that correct? Okay.
Mayor, point of order, ma'am.
Wait. Trustee Phelan, point of order.
Thank you.
One moment, please.
Okay.
Okay, yes vote is denied. Trustee Phelan, you had a point of order, sir. I can hardly hear you.
Yes, I'm sorry. I just want to note that the wording of the actual agenda item is an appeal. So we got to be clear about that.
Okay,
Voting
so,
no to the appeal is different than voting yes to the motion to deny.
okay, counsel, because it's appeal of an adverse decision, please look at that again, and since there is
I
confusion.
think the vote no is correct because you deny the appeal.
Yes, but
Yes,
That is correct.
yes.
Okay, as long as there's a clear understanding of what we're voting on, we can go ahead and vote effectively. Please state it the way it should be.
Okay, and counsel, can you speak clearly into the microphone so people are absolutely positive? People will be watching from home, and I want the record to be good.
Okay, we're on number 9, which is an appeal of an adverse decision by the zoning and planning petitioner for 2020-13 that the mayor read earlier. It was a 5-0 vote to deny. He's appealing that denial. We had a motion to deny the appeal made by trustee Mallow, seconded by trustee Olenichek. And we had discussion on the item by all the trustees and the petitioner. Now we're voting on that motion to deny the appeal. So a yes vote on the motion to deny is an affirmative vote to deny the motion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's call the vote, and a yes vote means this appeal is denied, correct? Okay,
Correct.
sorry for the confusion. Can we call the vote, please?
Yes. Trustee Desmond?
yes to deny the appeal.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Olenishik?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 to deny.
Thank you. And we generally don't allow back and forth at the board meetings with the public other than outside public comments. If a petitioner has something to say, but sir, he spoke for you, and so we have to let that stand. We gave him plenty of time, and I apologize if it's confusing. So we have item 10, ordinance 2165, an ordinance granting a rezoning from R1 to PK with a wall height material and transitional landscape variation at 9512 South Moody Avenue. Akram Abidal is the petitioner, and I need a motion on 10. Motion to deny,
I'll
trustee
second that
Mallow,
motion.
seconded by
Deny.
trustee Olenichek. Any discussion here? Let's call that vote, please. This
Trustee
is,
Desmond?
again, a yes means you are denying the appeal.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes, yes,
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Olenishik?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 to deny.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, that brings us back to approval of the meeting minutes, item 5. Approval of the meeting minutes for the regular meeting minutes 2020-19, dated October 27th, 2020. May I have a motion on 5, please? Thank you. Trustee Mallow made that motion,
I'll second, Mayor.
seconded by trustee Vorderer. Any discussion? Call the vote, please.
Trustee Desmond?
yes,
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow? Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Olenishik?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 6, new business by village trustees. Let's start District 1. Trustee Desmond.
thank you, Mayor, I have no new business.
Thank you. District 2.
I just want to wish everyone a happy Veterans Day tomorrow. I will not be able to ceremony due to work, but I think it's very important that we remember our veterans tomorrow.
Thank you. District 3.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to make a comment today about November 28th. This is our normal Santa on the Green on Village Hall, or over here behind the library. We are going to go ahead with the Santa on the Green. This will happen on November 28th. It will happen from 11 to 1 p.m. The main goal for this is to have our community and our kids to get that all-important picture with Santa and Mrs. Claus, and look forward to taking care of that safely. So if you are wondering if we are doing that, we are going forward with our Santa on the Green on November 28th with a rain date of November 29th. Thank you.
Thank you, and that will be socially distanced, of course, correct? Okay, thank you. District 4.
Thank you, Mayor. Yesterday, I walked out of my house, and there was a little package on my front stoop. It was all wrapped in red, white, and blue, and an American flag was sticking out. And in the little package was candies and toys, and this letter from an anonymous student from St. Linus School. And it said, "Dear veteran, for my 7th grade social studies project, I chose to learn about the history of the honor flight here in Chicago. I noticed your honor flight sign, and I want to wish you a happy Veterans Day. I hope you are able to enjoy your day of honor next year. You are a true hero. I will be thinking about you while I do my research. Happy Veterans Day. With love and prayers, a St. Linus student." I think St. Linus is doing something really, really good, and I'm going to certainly write a letter to that principal telling her that. And in the same light, as Trustee Olin said, tomorrow, November 11th, the Oaklawn VFW will be doing a remembrance of veterans of Oaklawn and other veterans at the memorial, our Veterans Memorial, right next to our public library. There's going to be a number of guest speakers, and I'd like to extend an invitation to anybody that can make it. Again, tomorrow, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. is significant because Armistice Day, which was earlier Veterans Day, it was changed to Veterans Day. The First World War ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day, so that's significant time. So again, I'd like to extend an invitation to any of our residents or anybody that would like to come out and see the ceremony. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. District 5.
Terry, thanks so much. I didn't know about that, and I live right across the street from St. Linus. That's a really nice story. Veterans Day means a lot to me. My dad was a pilot in World War II. He did not see any action. Maybe that's the reason I'm alive today. But I really appreciate the fact that we had an election last week, mainly based on the tenets that our veterans protect. All gave some gave all. Thanks, Yvette. Thank you, that's all.
Thank you very much. District 6, Trustee Phelan.
Thank you, Mayor. There are 4 items on the consent agenda.
And I'm going to just ask you to speak really loudly. Again, it's hard to hear. The microphone's up against the speaker, but it still is a little difficult.
Okay, I'll be brief. There are 4 items on the consent agenda. I thought of pulling them off, but instead I'd like to just comment on them. Items 8A through D. They are related to a request from a local business for some variance on a property they purchased on Rumsey Avenue, the industrial area behind Christ Hospital area back there. The reason I brought this up is actually 2 companies. Their owners are based in my district. They're young couples, Troy and Michelle Corn from Trojan Plumbing and Bill and Cindy Corley from Style Exteriors. And the reason I'm bringing this up is, it's been a difficult year, to say the least, and it's just gratifying to see effectively 2, American dreams come true. These are hardworking people. They employ, I think, at least a dozen oak lawn between the 2 of them, and they're going to jointly own the property, even though only Trojan Plumbing is listed as the purchaser. Trojan Plumbing relocated from Alsip. Troy and Michelle Cord started that company. Bill and Cindy Corley started Style Exteriors. They have an office on 95th, and I just I couldn't be happier to see the reward for hard work being rewarded, and I couldn't be more enthusiastic about supporting this request. So I just wanted to weigh in with that, and then finally also wanted to weigh in on the Veterans Day thing. Today is the United States Marine Corps' birthday, My son Kevin is at Ohio State in the Marine Corps ROTC program, so I think it's worth noting and wishing all the Marines out there a happy birthday. That's it for this evening.
Thank you, very nice. Happy birthday to them as well. Okay, our village manager's report. Randy?
Good evening, Mayor and Board. I would also like to thank all of our veterans for what they sacrificed and their families, because as we always say, it's not only the military man, but it's also, or woman, but it is also their families that go through that with them. So I want to thank all of them, the veterans and their families.